Hello, folks. Well, here we are. It is Saturday, March 16th. Time to show you another progress report, I guess. Anyway, we got our oversized Whitney punch that showed up and used. As you can see, we've been making plenty of use out of that. It didn't do those big holes. The big holes were done with a hole saw. This punch goes up to 7/16, I believe. It's pretty aggressive. So far, I think I've done, well, you can see the bigger of the small holes there, roughly 3/8 of an inch. And it takes a little persuasion. That's what that pipe is for. And the mount that mounts it, you got to either put it in a vise, or the mount came with the kit that I bought. And I've been just clamping it on the bench. But anyway, made a bunch of patches for all the inner engine compartment panels, front clip inner panels, and I've been going through and massaging stuff, making stuff. This I don't know if the stuff got hit or what happened over its history, but it's all a little tweaked. This was kind of bent; it didn't stand up straight. The edges were kind of mangled a little bit. And so, like I said, a little massaging wherever it's necessary before it goes off for powder coat. The little captive nut underneath here came loose, so that's got to get welded back on. You see there's a little damage on this thing here. That should get repaired. What I'm doing now, in the middle of right now, is I took the fuse panel out. I'm getting ready to finish the inside, which means I have to paint the inside of the firewall and the floor and stuff. And I had this up here used for mock-up in order to install it. And they give you this type of an arrangement here. You see these, oh, there's a bit light here is bad. Sorry about that. You see these rubber things on the bottom? See if I can point right here. God, the light is terrible. The cameras won't focus. These rubber things sticking out, these kind of little legs, they give you those to mount the fuse panel. And it's kind of a clever idea. You see like I say, the light here is terrible. You see the screws going through there into those rubber pieces. So what they do is they give you a paper template, you drill the holes for these two legs, and you poke the thin part of the rubber through the holes up in the kick panel, high up in the kick panel. And as you tighten the screws, you see the screw goes through to kind of a nutsert that's embedded in that rubber. As you tighten the screws, it swells the rubber. So the rubber clamps itself to the holes you drill. There's one, and there's the other one. To the holes you drill in that upper kick panel area. And that's all good. If you have a car that's all assembled, it would be very hard to get in here and do anything permanent. So that idea, this is an American Auto Wire retrofit kit designed for 57 Chevy. So like I said, that's a clever idea. It works quite well. If you got a car that's all completely assembled, you would have a real hard time doing anything permanent here. You see, I have another mount here for the electrical devices that are required for the electric park brake that I've installed. But anyway, what I'm doing here now, I took that out the other day and found out that when you loosen the screws, those rubber things don't stay there. They collapse, so they come out of the holes. So I'm doing something more permanent. See if I can get to where the light's better here. Doesn't want to focus. Will that gonna work? Nope. Let's leave it in the sun. There, that's better. What I'm doing is something like this. I made these little sleeves, and what I've done is the sleeve was too long for the tap to go all the way through. So what I did is I counterboarded. I bored the top part down about 3/8 of an inch. That allowed the tap to go through. And it will also allow me, when I crawl under there to mount this thing, amongst the windshield wiper hardware and the pedal hardware and all, it's kind of crowded up under there. So with this counterboard the way it is, the screw that's going to go in the threads will get aligned. I'll poke the screw in there because it's a clearance hole for that screw about 3/8 of an inch, which will automatically line it up with the thread. So I think that's going to work good. I'll weld these. Weld these to this plate, this flat plate. It's not cut to length yet or drilled for the mounting yet. And then what I'll do is I'll enlarge those holes I just showed you. So those sleeves, the sleeves will penetrate the holes, and they'll stand off on the inside about 1/2 an inch to give the wiring a little more room where it comes out of the back of that fuse panel. And I'll weld the sleeves around the hole. I'll have my son weld it. I don't do it. And I'll probably put a tack where it crosses this rib here. So that'll be a nice solid mount. As you can see, I've started to remove stuff to break this down so that we can start working on the firewall. You know, this is just mock-up stuff, which you see in here now. We put this in to locate the motor mounts, and other things, the exhaust. You see, I took the headers off. And I've been patching. I made a patch here on this, whatever you call this pan that goes in front of the radiator, because now that we move the radiator forward to the 6-cylinder location, it halfway covers that hole. And there's another hole here where there's a hose comes off the petcock for the radiator to drain. Well, it's buried under the radiator. So I'm filling those. I made patches for those. The rest of the panels are over at my son's house. He's been working on the plugs that I made for the other screw holes. So like a lot of welding. There's the headers. We're going to remove the exhaust, and all of that's going to go and get HPC coated before it gets installed permanently. And here's a pile of stuff that we've started that's going to go get powder coated. Again, like I said, we've been massaging. You see some of the stuff is bare. We've been fixing and filling and straightening and stuff before it goes off to get powder coated. So yeah, there's a fair amount of stuff there. And that's most of it, I think. I think that's most of the stuff right there. So that's kind of where we're at. I haven't done much inside yet. Like I said, I just took the fuse panel out. So that's about all I've done inside so far. But I got to, like I said, I'm going to get up here and put some black paint on all of this before it's ready to start reassembling. I have, you see, I've got routing laid out here for harness bundles, wiring bundles. There's another thing I can show you what I'm planning. You see these little crosses here is where I'm going to put mounts. I'm going to weld a little tiny, like an AN washer here that's bent out like in a V shape so that I can attach the harness bundles. And there's holes around here. There's one, that's one, that's one, that's one. There's a pad that goes on the inside of the firewall. It's an insulation and sound deadening pad that goes on the inside of the firewall. It's about 3/8 of an inch thick. And these are the holes for a little push. They make a little plastic kind of a push pin that you put the pad up there and you poke these push pins through, and they stick out on this side probably an inch or almost an inch, and they're kind of ugly looking. So what I'm going to do is use a carriage bolt. I think I have one over. Well, this isn't the one I was looking for, but this will show you what I'm looking to do. What I'm going to do is put carriage bolts in these holes like that, and I'll glue them on there with probably with what's that? JB Weld. I'll stick them on there with JB Weld, and then I might even I ordered some flange nuts. I'm going to put a flange nut on the inside. That'll get buried in the padding. And then once the padding's up there, I bought I ordered some stainless steel, some little like stainless steel AN washers or SAE washers, smaller than normal. I think they're 5/8 of an inch diameter. And I'll use an acorn nut, a stainless acorn nut on the inside. So from this side of the firewall, those will look like rivets, I think, and they'll get painted black. They'll disappear because they'll all get painted the color of the firewall. And that'll clean up this. There won't be those pointy plastic things poking through the firewall on this side. So there's another. I mean, I spent quite a bit of time this week ordering stuff, you know, looking up, figuring out, researching, and ordering stuff to make this work. I still have to figure out this clutch pedal, because right now when you push the pedal in, it goes down to the floor, and when it gets to its extent, it stays there. Off the floor, it comes back, but when you get to where the pedal hits the floor, it stays there, and I got to figure out why it's doing that. The guy that sold me the kit said everything looked normal when I sent him pictures of the kit, so I think it's just linkage adjustments. Hopefully, he thought it was anyway. But here, like I said, here's the progress that we're making at this point. It's slow right now, but it's heading in the right direction. We're getting close to where we can start doing finishing, which I'm really looking forward to and excited about. Anyway, more later. Thanks for watching as always. Please like and comment at your discretion, obviously. But if you have anything to offer or whatever, please do. Love to hear it. Thank you very much for watching. Bye.